Procrastination. It's the invisible thief that sneaks into our lives and steals the most precious resource we'll ever have, time. The crazy thing? Most of us know it's happening, but we let it. We say things like, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'll do it when I feel ready." But the truth is, tomorrow often never comes, and ready is an illusion. Daniel, a young man in his mid-20s, had dreams bigger than life itself. He wanted to start an online business, write a book, travel the world, and create a life of freedom. He had notebooks filled with ideas, vision boards filled with goals, and a heart full of ambition. But he also had one silent enemy: procrastination. Every morning, Daniel's alarm clock rang at 6 a.m., full of promise. And every morning, he hit snooze. By the time he actually got out of bed, it was already late. He rushed through breakfast, checked his phone, scrolled social media, and promised himself he would start working in a little while. Hours disappeared. By nightfall, Daniel sat on his bed, filled with guilt and frustration, whispering the same words he'd whispered for years: "Tomorrow will be different." But it never was. One day, everything changed. Daniel was supposed to give a presentation at work, one that could open doors for his career. But instead of preparing, he had wasted the night before binge-watching shows. The next morning, he overslept. He rushed out the door, tie half done, papers scattered, heart racing. Stuck in traffic, he looked out of his car window and saw construction workers already hard at work under the blazing sun. And then it hit him. These men had been up since dawn, building brick by brick, without excuses. Meanwhile, he had spent years building nothing but regrets. For the first time, Daniel realized procrastination wasn't just a bad habit. It was the silent killer of his dreams. If he didn't change now, when would he? If he didn't take control of his day, his life would slip away in wasted hours. That moment was his wake-up call. Most people think success is about giant leaps, dramatic life changes, sudden bursts of motivation, or waiting for that perfect moment. But here's the secret Mel Robbins teaches: you don't need motivation to take action. You need action to create motivation. Daniel decided to test this. Instead of making huge promises to himself, he tried something small. That night, he set his alarm for 6 a.m. Again, when it rang, he wanted to hit snooze. But this time, he used Mel Robbins' famous 5-second rule. Here's how it works: the moment you feel an urge to procrastinate, you count backward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you move before your brain talks you out of it. So when the alarm buzzed, Daniel said quietly, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and threw off the blanket. He didn't think. He didn't argue with himself. He simply acted. And for the first time in months, he was out of bed before sunrise. He started with small wins: writing for 5 minutes, answering 1 email, doing 10 push-ups. At first, it felt silly. But then, something amazing happened. Those 5 minutes turned into 30. 30 minutes turned into an hour. And the more he acted, the more momentum he built. That's the truth about procrastination: it loses its power the moment you start. The hardest part of any task isn't doing it, it's starting it. Once you begin, the weight lifts. Action creates energy. Energy creates motivation. And motivation fuels more action. Daniel learned that consistency, not perfection, was the real key. He didn't need to do everything in a day. He just needed to start. As Daniel continued his journey, he discovered something deeper: procrastination wasn't really about laziness. It was about fear. He realized he wasn't avoiding his business plan because he didn't care. He avoided it because he was terrified. Terrified of failing. Terrified of discovering he wasn't good enough. Terrified of being judged. This is the hidden side of procrastination. It often disguises itself as busyness or distraction, but at its core, it's fear and perfectionism. We avoid tasks not because they're hard, but because they matter. Because if we fail at them, it will hurt. Daniel used to say, "I'll start when I'm more prepared." But deep down, he was using preparation as an excuse. What he really meant was, "I'll start when I'm sure I won't fail." But here's the harsh reality: you'll never be fully prepared. You'll never be 100% ready. And failure is not the enemy, inaction is. One night, Daniel wrote in his journal, "What's scarier? Failing, or looking back in 10 years and realizing I never even tried?" That question changed him. He realized failure was temporary, but regret lasts forever. From that day, every time fear whispered, "What if you fail?" he answered, "What if I don't even try?" And with that, procrastination lost its strongest weapon, fear. Now that Daniel understood the truth, he began to rebuild his days with purpose. His new rule was simple: win the morning, win the day. Here's what his routine looked like. Wake up immediately, using the 5-second rule, no snooze. No phone for the first hour. Instead of scrolling, he wrote his top 3 priorities. Start with the hardest task. Tackling the big one first gave him momentum for the rest of the day. Celebrate small wins. Even finishing one task gave him the energy to keep going. At first, it was uncomfortable. His old habits fought back. He wanted to scroll. He wanted to delay. But every time, he counted backward, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and chose action. Slowly, everything changed. His productivity doubled. His evenings were no longer filled with guilt but with pride. He finally made progress on his business plan. He started exercising regularly. He felt stronger, sharper, more alive. And here's the most powerful thing: it wasn't just his to-do list that changed. It was his identity. He stopped seeing himself as someone who procrastinates, and started seeing himself as someone who takes action. That identity shift changed everything. Because once you believe you're a doer, procrastination has no place in your life. Daniel's story isn't just his story. It's yours. It's mine. It's everyone's. Because procrastination is universal. We all face it. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent, or luck, or even intelligence. It's action. So here's the lesson for you: procrastination isn't a time problem. It's a decision problem. Every time you choose action over delay, you take back control of your day, and your life. The next time you catch yourself saying, "I'll start later," stop. Count down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then move. Open the book. Write the page. Send the message. Do the workout. Don't think. Just act. Because one day, you won't have more tomorrows left to waste. And you don't want to look back with regret. Your dreams deserve action. Your future deserves discipline. And you deserve the life you keep imagining. Remember this: procrastination steals your peace. Action creates your freedom. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to start today. So stop waiting. Stop delaying. Take control of your day, and watch how your life transforms, one action at a time.